Hello, everyone. I wanted to take just a few minutes and kind of go over the part of the assignment 3 for this class. I think assignment 3 is a good starting point, and based on what we do in this week, it's going to depend. It's going to be a good foundation for the remaining of the weeks to come. So basically, there are a lot of assignment files for this assignment, and for example, there are a couple of PDF files. This one has the WBS. Now, WBS again is the work breakdown structure, and I know that in week 1 you guys created a WBS, but for the week 3 and moving on for the Global Traps project, this is the WBS that we need to use. And again, it has the five phases of the project: initiating, planning, executing, and then controlling and closing. And then under each phase, we have some tasks. Then sometimes we have sub-summary tasks, and then under the sub-summary tasks, we have tasks. And these need to be entered exactly as it shows here. And when I say entered, meaning that in a new project file, we need to enter them in our WBS in the Gantt chart. The other thing also is that we are provided, again, for the week 3 assignment files, we are given an Excel sheet. This Excel sheet basically needs to be used so we can calculate the duration of the tasks that are given here. So again, for example, under initiating, we have finalize project team and develop project charter. And if we go to the Excel file, we see the same exact set of tasks. And we are using the PERT weighted average duration to calculate our durations, and the way to do it is we have an optimistic duration, we have most likely, and we have pessimistic. So the formula for the weighted average, again, this is weighted average, the PERT method, not the simple average calculation, which is take this plus this plus this and divide by 3. For PERT weighted average, it's a bit different. We take the optimistic duration, we add it to the pessimistic duration, excuse me, and then we add 4 times the most likely duration. And then we divide all that sum by 6. So in Excel, the way to do it is you always start a formula with an equal sign, okay? And I'm going to use parentheses so I can group my my formula. So I'm going to say take this value plus this value plus this value times 4. Okay, and then, well, actually, just to be safe, let's just put all this in. Let's put the multiplication part in its own parentheses, and then we take all that and then we divide it by 6, and then we hit enter. So we get 5, which is the correct duration. So this, based on these numbers for the optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely, the PERT formula gives us a 5 as an answer. Okay, so all you have to do then is, this is the number that you would put in here. So for example, well, I guess I can start typing for give you some examples here. So this is the initiating, and then under it, we basically have finalize project team. Okay, so finalize project team. So here in the duration column, I hit 5. Okay, and then go on to the next one, and this is develop project charter. Develop project charter. Okay, and for the duration, again, we go here. Now, once you do the first formula, you don't have to type it over and over and over again for the remainder of these cells. All you have to do is, again, a nice feature in Excel is if you click on the cell that has your formula, there is a little square in the bottom right of the cell. And when you hover over it, see how my mouse changes, or the cursor changes from a big fat plus sign to just a plus sign. So, a thin plus sign. So we can do an autofill, which basically if I double click on this icon now, it autofills all the values for me based on what I did here. So if you notice, nothing really changes except for the row number. So up here, if you look at this value, uh, this is B3, D3, C3. And if you exit out of this, we go to the next one. Now it's B4, D4, C4. Now this is a 0 because there are no values here, so you could ignore it. And then this one is again B6, D6, and C6. So it autofills it for us, and Excel is smart enough to say, okay, this is a new row, new values, and this is how they calculate. Now when you guys submit this for me, my quickest test to see if you entered them correctly is I click on a cell and I see if you entered the correct formula here. And then also another way to do it is I add up the entire duration of this column. So for example, I can just use the sum formula, which is equal sum, and then it starts from E3, which is the very first cell, and then all the way through E57. And I just hit enter, and I should get 516. So if I get 516, that means that you guys had the correct numbers, and then it totals out to the correct duration. All right, so this is what you need to do in the Excel sheet so you can get the values for the duration, which you enter in the in your project file, in the WBS part of the project file. So for develop project charter, which is this one, the duration is 5. So I would type in 5, hit enter. Okay. Now, if you notice here in the WBS for week 3, you see initiating, and then there's an indent, and then there's final project team and develop project charter. This is not by chance or by accident. This is on purpose. That this basically means that initiating is a summary task, and these two are tasks that belong to this summary task. And the way to do it here in Microsoft Project, you just basically highlight the two tasks that you want to indent, and to indent them under the schedule group in the ribbon, there is an indent and there is an outdent. So if you click on this, now both these two tasks are now indented under the initiating summary task. And if you now you see that there is a collapsible arrow or expandable arrow. Now it's expanded. Now if I want to collapse it, you just click on it, and now the two tasks are hidden. If you click on it again, it expands. Okay, so this is what I mean by being indented for the way this is set up. So if you would type in planning on the next line, planning needs to be under the same level or same indent level as initiating. And then you would type in these two tasks under planning, and then you would indent them just like I did for initiating. And then now when we get to executing it, there is another level of indentation. There is executing, and then you have to indent and create another summary task under executing, and then indent one more, and then create all your tasks that belong under the concept sub-summary task. So this is a summary task, this is a sub-summary task, and then these are summary tasks. Okay, so just again, the goal is when you're building your WBS here in Microsoft Project, just make sure that you follow exactly how it's set up in this document here. Okay, so that if you, well, here, let me just give a brief okay, so planning, and under planning we have develop scope statement, and then develop and refine, develop and refine other plans. Okay, let's see, for planning, all these two guys need them to be indented. Okay, and then you need to enter in the durations. Then when we come to executing, we have concept, and then our first task is conduct research. conduct research. I'm not going to type the whole text, but I think you get that point here. So concept needs to be indented one level under executing. So I'm going to go up here, click on it once, and then conduct research needs to be indented under concept, like that. Okay, so the best way to see is if you collapse this, this will be hidden. Then you collapse this, this will be hidden, and now we have executing. Okay, now notice here if I collapse planning, executing disappeared. Now executing is supposed to be on the same level as planning and initiating. So this is a mistake that some of you do as well. So I need to this executing, I need to pull it all the way or out indent it so that it's aligned with initiating because they're in the same level. So I can go here and then click on this and then click on it again. So now executing is on the same level as initiating. And for planning, the same thing. I need to out indent it. So now they're all on the same level. So if I minimize or if I collapse executing and I collapse planning and I collapse initiating, you can see it now that they're all three of them are on the same level correctly. Okay. Another thing you need to do is once you enter all this, I need you to go into Microsoft Project, and there's a line here or an option here that says under insert a summary. So if you click on summary, it basically creates a new summary task for the whole project. So this is where you can give it the name Global Treps Project, and then just make sure that everything is indented under it. So now this is how it needs to look. And then, for example, we are back to let's see, I'm not going to type all that. Sorry, controlling and closing. So controlling, closing, and again, these two need to be aligned with the other phases. Okay, can't indent it anymore. All right, 1 second. Okay, so now all 5 phases are aligned correctly and they all belong under the main summary task. And if I collapse this, then they all disappear, which makes sense. Okay, so that's how it should look. Now, executing, if you expand it, you get concept, and if you expand it, you get conduct research. Okay, so this is just the beginning of what eventually will look like this, but I kind of want to give you a head start on it. Now for predecessors, again, it's one of the documents that is given to you for the week 3 project files. And basically, let me expand this a bit. Let's see if you could read it now. Just sorry, mute my phone. All right, so for example, basically this says the lowest level task, develop project charter. The immediate predecessor is the finalized project team. Okay, so basically there's a column. I can expand this a little bit, so give me more space. So there is a column here called predecessors. In case you don't see it, or in case you don't see any column, there is always an add new column option. Okay, if you click on it, it gives you all the kinds of columns that you can add. All right, they're all alphabetized. So if you don't see, again, predecessors here, you can just, type pre, and then you can get an option of similar starting name columns. So here's predecessors. I just hit enter, and now I have it. You could also add a column, well, you could move a column by clicking and dragging. Thought you can. Okay, for some reason it's not moving, but you can create a column. Say I want the predecessors to be between duration and start. So if I right click on it and then say insert column, predecessors, there we go. So now predecessors is here. Okay, and you can delete a column by right clicking on it and saying you can hide it. So hide a column, and let's hide this one as well because it's duplicated from here. All right, so predecessors. If we do initiating, now develop project charter is must happen once this is done. Okay, so for example, uh, in Predecessor for the Develop Project Charter, click on the pull down arrow. It's going to give you all your WBS tasks. Now, right now, I only have just a few because I didn't enter all of them. But uh, for this one, I need to make it's a predecessor for this. And then I hit enter or escape. So okay, so then for this to start, this has to finish first. And that's what this predecessor column does. So again, this sheet, this PDF document, basically tells you uh, how to set it up. You know, here's the task that you're at. Oops, uh, here's this task, and here's the predecessor that you need to give the value for. Now, notice also that sometimes a task has more than one predecessor. And the way to do that is, again, just by, this is not the right thing to do, but this is just an example. Instead of giving just number 3, you can click on any other task. Okay, and then you hit escape, and now you get all the list of more than just one predecessor. Okay, again, for this specific one, it's just number 3, but I just wanted to show you that you can click on more than one task. But for this one, it's just number 3 for now. Okay. Let's see, what else? So we went over this. We went over that. Showed how to do the Excel. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to demonstrate in this video. Again, it's this is going to be the base for many weeks to come. This is the project we're building now. We need to add the duration, we need to add the tasks, we need to add predecessors, and I think we also have to add a WBS line. So if you, well, I guess we could do it here. There. Okay, so if you add a WBS column, basically it says, well, this is level 1, okay, global TREPS project. This is the main project name. And then under it, we have a level 1.1. And then under that, we have another sub-level called 1.1.1, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So this is that's what the WBS column does. All right. So this is what I wanted to go over. If you have any questions about, the setting up the project or calculating or missing files, you can't find these files for whatever reason in the assignments, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to, you can either email me or post something to the private or the general questions forum, and I'll be more than happy to reply back, usually within 24 hours. All right, I hope you found this very helpful. And again, if anything is confusing, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to make more videos and answer your questions at any time. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in class. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.